Also in Washington this morning, Democratic Senator from New York, Kirsten Gillibrand, a member of the Foreign Relations Committee. Senator, good morning. Thanks for being with us.
Good morning.
Let's start by talking about the START treaty because it doesn't look great right now. In your opinion, are there enough supporters to get this ratified before the end of the year?
Well, I think they're very close to having the support they need. This is a national security issue, and it's a treaty that's going to be so important for moving forward on missile defense, on everything we care about for national security, on securing loose nukes, and also about how we're going to deal with Iran in the future. So there's so many issues at play right here with this treaty that I think it's the kind of issue that can really bring bipartisan support and enough to pass the treaty.
Why is it right now that you think some Republicans are not supporting this?
Well, I think this is the time for debate, and we have many amendments that are being considered on the floor right now, and many Republicans want to be heard on this issue. But as I said, because it's a national security issue and because it's so important for our long-term relationship with Russia, that I think we can bring the parties together to resolve this and to actually pass it.
I think some believe there may be some other issues involved. I know Senator Graham said yesterday that he felt the lame duck session had been poisoned, and it's better to put everything off into the new year. Do you agree with that?
No, I don't. This is an issue that we've been working on for months. Secretary Clinton presented this to the Foreign Relations Committee, the Armed Services Committee months ago. We've had many hearings on this issue. It's been very deeply debated, and we're going to have a week on the floor. That's a long time. In the past, we've only had 2, 3, 4 days on treaties of this nature. So we will have the time to consider it, and this is the people's business. If you want to take anything from the last election, it's that the American people want us to work together and get things done, and you can't think of a more important issue than national security. All
right, speaking of important issues, I also want to talk about your bill, the 9/11 health bill, because once the Senate finishes with START, they move to that. Originally, it didn't seem like you had the votes to get it passed. Now, maybe you do. What do you expect?
Well, I believe we're going to have this vote directly after the START treaty vote, and I believe we have the support we need. We've been working very hard for many months and over the last several weeks on really addressing some of the concerns that my Republican colleagues had about the bill. That's why we've changed how we're paying for the bill. We've also changed the total amount of the bill to reflect the fact that we've just had a settlement and so more funds are getting to these first responders. So I believe we have the package we need to really have a Christmas miracle, and that's what we're aiming for.
Right, so the bill went from $7.4 billion to $6.2 billion. You think that's enough?
I do. And now what we have is a bill that's going to cover all the health care for these first responders. These are the men, you have to remember, these are the men and women that were racing up the towers when everybody was coming down, and they're the ones who tried to find survivors and then remains. They were the ones that were there on Christmas Day after 9/11 while family members urged them to please find our loved ones and any remains you can find. These are the men who have sacrificed so much, and I can tell you, a lot of them are dying right now, dying of terrible cancers and other diseases, and it's heartbreaking because these men are young, these men and women are very young, and we had a display in the Rotunda right here for a week, and we displayed 29 badges of NYPD police officers who died since 9/11 because of these diseases, and the average age of those men and women was 46. So these are men and women that are being cut down in the prime of their lives because of their heroism, because they responded when duty called.
All right, New York Senator Kirsten Gillibrand joining us from Washington this morning. Senator, we appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you.